Hello friends. So here we again begin with the subject of physics, chapter of wave optics, in which we have the topic of resolving power. So in resolving power, we have two instruments or optical instrument of microscope and telescope. So let us begin with the definition of resolving power. So as in the slide, we can define as the ability to distinguish two physical separated objects as two distinct objects is known as resolving power of an optical instrument. So the ability to distinguish means seen separate. The image of two close objects is seen separate. So images will be seen separate is called or is defined as the resolving power. So we have an example of the two fingers. So we have given in second point from a distance less than 10 meter. Your eye is able to resolve two fingers of hands. So two fingers of hand can be resolved or seen separate with the distance less than 10 meter. But if distance is beyond 50 meter, then we are unable to see separate two fingers. We only see the hand, we cannot see the two fingers as separate two fingers. So this is condition of unresolved. So if distance is less, we can see the two images, and if distance is greater than 50 meters, we have unable to see the two fingers. So based on that, we have the concept of resolving power. Again, mathematically, we have another part of the resolving power. So resolving power of an optical instrument is generally depend upon the aperture. So physical structure aperture, usually the diameter of lens or mirror. So aperture means the diameter of lens, which is the objective lens of the microscope or telescope. Or if we use mirror instead of lens, then we have the diameter. And second part, wavelength of light used. So these two factors on which the resolving power of optical instrument is depend. Now let us discuss in detail according to mathematics. So in general, resolving ability of an instrument is stated in terms of visual angle. So we have a diagram below in which we have shown the two objects A and B, and that A and B subtend an angle at the eye, that is angle V. So that V is angle between the rays coming from object A and object B towards the eye. So that V is called visual angle. So in general, we have the resolving ability depend upon that visual angle. If object is close, then object subtend angle large angle. If object is very far, then the angle is very small. So depend upon that, we have the concept of resolving ability. Now we define that minimum angle. So it is the minimum visual angle. So we have minimum angle between two objects that can resolve by that instrument. This minimum angle is called limit of resolution. So we have two definitions, important definitions. One is limit of resolution. So limit of resolution is minimum angle between the rays coming from two objects, so that these two objects we can see separate. So this angle is V here in case of diagram, and that minimum angle is called limit of resolution. And if we take reciprocal, so the last point is reciprocal of limit of resolution is called the resolving power. So we have taken reciprocal of limit of resolution, that is defined as a resolving power. Now we have the another method to understand the concept of resolving power. That criteria is given by Rayleigh. So according to Rayleigh's criteria, we have certain understanding of diffraction phenomena. So what we have given in this slide is, according to Lord Rayleigh, the ability of optical instrument to distinguish between two closely spaced objects depend upon the diffraction pattern of two objects, either slits, point sources, points object, stars, etc. Produce this at the screen, maybe at the retina or eyepiece, etc. So we have important part in Rayleigh's criteria is the diffraction pattern. So already we have learned the phenomena of diffraction in previous lecture. Now once again we revise the phenomena of diffraction and corresponding diffraction pattern. So check the diagram. So here we have the diffraction pattern in which this portion having the maximum amplitude or maximum intensity, that portion is called central maxima, which we have given in diagram below, that is central maxima. This portion is called central maxima in diffraction pattern. Then we have the secondary minima or first secondary minima, that will be shown here in terms of intensity having minimum intensity or zero intensity. So secondary minima or first secondary minima is located at this location. Secondary minima on one side and first secondary minima on other side, and in between we have the central maxima which has the highest intensity. So based on this particular concept or diffraction pattern, we have the criteria here. So according to this criteria, two objects are just resolved. Just resolved means seen separate when first minimum of diffraction pattern of one source, first minimum, so here is first minima or minimum of one source coincide with central maximum of the diffraction pattern of other. So that will be coincide with diffraction pattern, central maximum of diffraction pattern of other, and vice versa. So we have this particular understanding in next slide. So see, we have what we have given according to Lord Rayleigh. So check this slide. Here we have the two close objects, and when we observe their images, then these two images are merged with each other, and when we observe the diffraction pattern of these two, then we have central maxima first, then central maxima of second. So these two central maxima are very close to each other, so that their image will be seen single image, or the objects are very close so that their images are merged with each other, and we cannot see the two separate objects or separate images of that objects, and that condition is called unresolved as given in figure A. Now we have second part, or in figure B, the two objects are such that their images are just look separate. First central maxima and second central maxima are separate with each other, and we have envelope of these two. So we have, according to Rayleigh, central maxima first coincide with first secondary minima of other, central maxima of second, that will be coincide with first secondary minima of first. So this will be the minimum condition for just resolve, or object will be seen separate. So in this case we are able to see these separate images. Now in third figure, figure C, the two objects are well separated, and the diffraction pattern of these two will be again seen separate. So there is a wide distance, or there is a much spacing between the central maxima of first and central maxima of second. So we clearly see there are two objects which are separated or seen separate. So this condition is called well resolved. So this will be understood in the, again we have the next slide. So in figure B, so what we have given in figure B, that we have again explained here the same concept. First minimum of the diffraction pattern of second object is coincide with central maxima of the first. First minimum of second coincide with central maxima of first. That is the minimum condition for the just resolve, and that is the figure B in this case here. Now we have the two remaining figures. So that resolving condition is, we have again, in such case we find the object to be just resolved as depression in the resultant envelope is noticeable. So depression means this will be central maxima first and central maxima second having certain depression, and that will be responsible for the two separate images. And in figure A and figure C, we have the condition of unresolved in figure A and well resolved in figure C, that already we have explained. Now, according to resolving power, there are two types of the objects. So first type is two linear objects and second one is pair of point objects. So let us discuss in detail what happened with the two linear objects. So if we consider linear objects, then we have the fringes or the bands in diffraction pattern, and in that case angular separation or position of first secondary minimum is, once again, first secondary minimum and its angular separation with respect to central bright band, that is given by d theta lambda upon a. So here we have first means 1, so lambda divided by a is angular separation of first secondary minima with respect to central bright band or central maxima. Now that distance here is equivalent to the second point, as these minimum coincide with central maximum of other. Minimum coincide with central maximum of other. This must be the minimum angular separation between the two objects and hence the limit of resolution of that instrument. So this angle d theta is such that is the angular separation between two objects and that is the limit of resolution. So this distance, according to diffraction formula, d theta is equal to lambda upon a, that already we have learned in diffraction, and the condition is the angular separation of secondary minima. In that we have the formula of d theta is equal to n or m times lambda divided by a. N or m is 1 here in case of first secondary minimum, and that is nothing but the limit of resolution. So this distance d theta is the distance of this point O to the first secondary minima. So this distance we have considered in that formula here, central maxima and first secondary minima. This distance has the formula in topic of diffraction, d theta is equal to lambda upon a. Now that is nothing but the limit of resolution, d theta is equal to lambda upon a. Now we have the minimum separation between the two linear objects. So if objects has certain distance, that is called linear distance or linear separation, so that can be found by formula. So minimum separation between two linear objects that are just resolved at a distance d from the instrument is y is equal to d into d theta. So here d is the distance of the screen from the object. So distance d and into d theta. So d theta we have taken from above equation, lambda divided by a. So linear separation y is equal to d lambda divided by a. So this is formula for linear separation, and angular separation d theta lambda upon a. So this is for two linear objects. This condition or this particular derivation we are going to use in case of microscope. Now we have the second part, the pair of point objects. So for pair of point objects, the diffraction pattern of such objects consists of central bright disk surrounded by concentric rings called Ayres disk, and the rings are as shown in figure. Now check the diagram here. The source or object is at S. Now it is light transferred through the circular aperture and there is a formation of image on screen. On that image we have again the diffraction pattern. In the diffraction pattern, the central point is either bright or dark depend upon the object. So central bright or dark and surrounded by alternate bright and dark rings. That rings are called Ayres rings. So according to the concept of point objects, we have the diffraction pattern in form of circular rings. Again, according to Lord Rayleigh, for such object to be just resolved, the first dark ring first of diffraction pattern of first object should be formed at the center of diffraction pattern of second. and vice versa. This is same condition as we have explained in earlier topic here. So only we have here is rings and here we have the bands in case of the linear objects. Now this condition is used in case of telescope as a point objects. For example, the light coming from two distant stars, so very far stars, and the light coming towards the telescope. In that case we consider the stars as a point objects, and this concept we are going to use in understanding the resolving power of telescope here. Now let us begin with the first part, resolving power of microscope. Now for that we have a simple diagram of microscope. Here AB as the objective lens of microscope. There are two close objects, object O and O dash, close to each other, and these two objects makes an angle at the objective. So this will be object O or O dash makes an angle or conical angle, angle twice alpha. So this total angle between rays from O to A and O to B, that angle will be equal to 2 times alpha, or half angle is alpha and again alpha, the total angle will be equal to 2 times alpha. And object O form the image at I, object O dash form image at I dash, and in that image we have the central bright band or central maximum, and this will be the secondary minimum, first secondary minimum for object O, and its image is dark circle, and object O dash and its corresponding rays given by dash lines. Again we have image in a form of this particular I dash. So at the center of the dash circle there is a central maxima, and the circle or dash circle is the first secondary minimum. And again we have the intensity pattern of the first and second as central maxima, first, central maxima second, and corresponding minima at this location. So here this diagram explanation is already given in this particular slide. So angular separation between the objects and objective is 2 times alpha. So that angle is very important. Total angle is 2 times alpha. Now to derive the equation we have the diagram, a second diagram. So this is for derivation. So that diagram consists of object O dash and O, here O dash and O, and how the rays travel towards the point A and point B from both the objects, object O and object O dash, O and O dash here. So see here, according to Rayleigh's criteria, the first dark ring due to O dash should coincide with I, and that of O should coincide with I dash. So this already we have explained. First dark ring means first minimum coincide with I and vice versa. So here in case of this condition where there is a location of image of I, there is the dash circle. So this dash circle has this particular point, that is secondary minima. So secondary minima is at this location where there is a first central maxima. Central maxima first, at that place we have first secondary minima of second, and here we have the central maxima of second, that is I dash. At that location we have this portion circle, and this particular portion is first secondary minima of second, first secondary minima of first. So this is the condition given by the Lord Rayleigh, and that we are going to consider in second diagram. So O dash and O, so light from O dash travel towards A and travel towards B. Similarly from O to A and again O to B here. So we have the path of extreme rays reaching I from O dash R, O dash AI. So that we have given in this diagram. First path is O dash A and I, second O dash B and I, and that path difference. So path of extreme rays reaching I from O dash R, O dash AI, and O dash bi, and similarly as I is symmetric with respect to A and B, so AI and BI having the same path, A to I and B to I, these two are same path. So what we have, the path difference is O dash A and O dash B, there is the path difference between these two rays. So we have in diagram O dash B is greater than O dash A. So this O dash A and O dash B, the difference is called path difference. So that path difference we have taken in next slide. The actual path difference is O dash B, that is greater, minus O dash A smaller side. Now in the second diagram we consider the O dash B, this particular direction and corresponding magnitude. Similarly O dash A, direction and magnitude. So we require for path difference O dash B and O dash A, their path difference can be found by geometry of figure. So we have O dash B, and if we compare with OB, additional path will be, here is O dash C, and similarly C to B and O to B, we have same path, and that O to B is equivalent to O to A. So these two paths will be same. Now we compare O to A and D to A dash, D to A. So these two paths again same. Extra path will be from O to A, O dash to A, that will be path has compared with this O to A. So this point D to O dash is extra path compared to these two path O dash A and OA. So this will be path additional. Again previously we have taken this path O dash C, little bit complicated diagram. So O dash C and D O dash, this will be the additional path for ray O dash B and O dash A. So we have considered the actual path difference is O dash B minus O dash A in this case. So again here in diagram alpha is angle between these two. All the cases we have angle is alpha, and we require D O dash and O dash C. So this will be the path difference D O dash plus O dash C according to the geometry of figure here. So O dash B minus O dash A, that path difference will be equivalent to D O dash and O dash C. So this path will be additional compared with O dash B and O dash A, and the D O dash is the distance opposite side of this angle, and that can be written in terms of, so O dash A, the distance between two objects is taken as suppose small a. So A is the distance between O dash and O. So we have A sin alpha. So D O dash is A sin alpha, again O dash C, again that is A sin alpha. So total will be 2 A sin alpha. That is equation number first here. Now we have two types of the objects, and accordingly we have two cases of microscope. So microscope with a pair of non-luminous objects, that is the dark object. If object is dark, then we consider the first case here. So let the wavelength of light in these material will be lambda n. Lambda divided by n is the lambda is wavelength in air and refractive index n. And in such setup, path difference at the first dark ring is the lambda n. So we have path difference for the first minimum, and that path difference is n times lambda or m times lambda. So here will be for first we have m is equal to 1 or n is equal to 1, that is only lambda n is path difference. So that path difference we have to compare with equation number 1, and we obtain twice A sin alpha, that is equal to lambda n. So lambda n is a wavelength in the medium, that medium is caved between object and objective. So this will be lambda n is equal to lambda divided by n. So we write equation for A. So A is equal to lambda divided by twice n sin alpha. So these 2 sin alpha we take into divide. So lambda divided twice n sin alpha. So that is equal to A is equal to lambda divided by twice into NA. So n sin alpha is called numerical aperture. The factor n sine alpha is called numerical aperture of the microscope. So here A is called limit of resolution, and if we take reciprocal, the resolving power R is reciprocal of that distance A. So 1 upon A is equal to twice NA divided by lambda. That is formula for resolving power of microscope in case of the objects are dark or non-luminous. So this is equation number 2 for the resolving power. Now we have the second case, microscope with self-luminous point objects. So for self-luminous point objects, path difference between extreme rays at the first dark ring is given by 1.22 lambda n. So instead of lambda n we take factor 1.22. If the objects are self-luminous, light will produce from that objects. So 1.22 lambda in path difference. Again we have equation 1 compared with this. So twice A sine alpha equal to 1.22 lambda n. Again we write equation for A. So A is equal to 1.22 lambda n divided by 2 sine alpha. So again lambda n we write as lambda divided by n. So equation for A is equal to 1.22 lambda divided by 2n sine alpha. So these will be equivalent to 1.22 divided by 2 is 0.61 times lambda divided by n sine alpha. Again n sine alpha is called numerical aperture. So we have formula for the limit of resolution A as 0.61 times lambda divided by NA, and resolving power is reciprocal of A. So R is equal to 1 upon A, NA divided by 0.61 times lambda. So that is equation number 4. So for the objects with self-luminous, we have the formula for resolving power R, NA divided by 0.61 times lambda. So this second formula for the resolving power of microscope. Now we have the second part, resolving power of telescope. Figure shows here the object AB. So here is object AB of telescope receive set of parallel beams from two distant objects with angular separation theta. So the ray first, that is denoted by dark line, that is light coming from first object, and the dashed line, ray coming from second object. These two second objects, these two rays separated by angle theta. So these angle between the rays theta, suppose we consider light coming from two stars, first star and second star, as dark and dashed lines. So these will form image at I dash and image I. So first form image at I and second form image at I dash. Similarly we have condition of the resolution by Rayleigh. The first form the image and second form the image, and their central maxima. At central maxima we have the center first secondary minima of these two, and vice versa here. So when we modify the diagram, so this AB distance is the capital D, which is the diameter of objective, and we have taken parallel line from A on BI dash, that is angle theta. So when we resolve, resolving power of telescope is then defined as a reciprocal of least angular separation between objects that are just resolved, and according to Rayleigh's criteria, minimum separation between images I and I must be equal to radius of first dark Array's ring. And here also we have the part difference for the first dark ring is as similar to the microscope 1.22 times lambda, and here we have the rays A to I dash and B to I dash. So BI dash minus AI dash is a path difference. That path difference is equal to 1.22 times lambda. Again we have the path difference is equal to this much portion, and angle theta subtended by this portion at this point A. So this distance is D, and here theta. So the distance path difference is equivalent to BI dash minus AI dash is equivalent to D into theta. So D into theta according to arc, radius and angle, that can be obtained by arc, radius and angle relation. So 1.22 times lambda. Now we write equation for theta. So theta is equal to 1.22 lambda divided by d, and r is equal to 1 upon theta, which is resolving power, and theta is called limit of resolution. So we have two formula for the limit of resolution theta, 1.22 lambda divided by d, and r is equal to reciprocal of limit of resolution, that is equal to d upon 1.22 times lambda, that is equation number 5. So here we have the resolving power depend upon d means diameter or aperture of objective lens and wavelength lambda. So we have recently largest optical telescope under construction have 30 meter to 40 meter size of objective lens. So that optical telescope are made from mirror instead of the lenses, as lenses have number of errors. So with the help of mirror we have the optical telescope using the size of mirror 30 to 40 meter. So this will be the telescope. Now we have one more short topic of radio telescope. So this is only general introduction of the radio telescope. So radio means radio waves means we have large portion of electromagnetic wave. So wavelength of radio waves are in meter. In such cases, array of antenna spread over several kilometers are used. So we have number of receiving antennas. So this will be shown the photograph. That photograph will be of giant meter wave radio telescope located at Narayangaon near Pune, Maharashtra. Uses such an array consists of 30 dishes of 45 meter diameter each, spread over 25 kilometer. So these telescopes work on radio frequency or radio waves, and that radio waves from distant objects, either from galaxies or stars in universe. And we have certain information. The highest angular resolution achievable range from about 60 arc second. Arc second is a 3600 part of a degree at the lowest frequency of 50 megahertz to about 2 arc second at 1.4 gigahertz. So this will be the working range of the frequency and corresponding the limit of resolution. So here we have the photograph of the 5 different antenna 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 at the GMRT Pune. Thank you.